Hello and welcome to Retro Americana. I'm your host, Jeremy Scott. Our special guest today, folks, Gregory Bilby. He's a good guest. He always brings good stuff. And what he's kind of brought for us today is famous people. That's all I'm going to say. That's coming up in the second half of the show. First up, I got a commercial from the early 70s is where I'm going to kind of place this. It's the Carry-All Action playset by Mark's Toy Company. And the music in this was the first thing that I noticed. And it kind of is reminiscent to me of something that you would hear as background music on a Partridge Family episode or maybe Brady Bunch, which to me is hilarious. Another thing about these toys, because it's like several different sets that you can get, is that it's totally awesome. Totally awesome. And you know, these were perfect for parents because they're good for kids on, like, you know, long car trips. I don't know, on vacation, going to grandma's house, or as we call it here in Cherokee County, Meemaw and Pawpaw's house. God, I hate Meemaw Pawpaw talk. That just gets under my skin. Maybe that's why I'm happily childless. I don't know. We'll see. And another thing about this, and one last thing, is it's just another awesome toy from back in the day. And I also have something before we get to it. I have something very similar. This was a toy that I had when I was a kid. I've had it on the show before, but that was like season 1, which is like 20 million years ago to me. This one was late 70s, so this is about maybe 10 years removed from what you're going to see. See, it snaps together and it comes into like a little box, you know, there's a handle right there. And it opens up and there's a town and stuff, and you'd put a garage, there was a garage building here with a drive-through thing, and there was a bridge that went here, and there's a helicopter. It is really, really pretty cool. This is all that remains of it, but it was a cool toy back in the day. So this is very similar to what you're going to kind of see. So check it out, from the early 70s, Carry-All Action playset by Mark's Toy Company. Yeah.
It's the Action Kids. What in the world are they up to now?
Let's get right down to business.
Business? What business?
Fun business!
The Fun Pack Carry-All Action Playset by Marx. Look, this opens up the wild action world of Fort Apache. With Indians, cavalrymen, shell-shooting cannons. And here are the fighting knights, with a real drawbridge, knights, Vikings, and rock-throwing catapults. Here's the boot camp, with 10 Jeep bullet-shooting machine guns and 80 soldiers. Or land a helicopter at Cape Kennedy. Fire the rockets, back the space missile into the launching pad, and start the countdown. It's off into space. Zoom! Get Fort Apache, get the Fighting Knights, get the Boot Camp, get Cape Kennedy. Get all 4 and carry your own world of action wherever you go. The Rugged Steel Carry-All Action Playsets by Marx.
All right, up next, folks, we have the Witch Doctor's Head Shrinkers kit from, I don't know, about the mid-60s is where this kind of seems like it is to me. This is a cool toy. Well, I wouldn't really call it a toy, though. It was like it's kind of like a scientist kit. Like we had the Erector set and the Gilbert chemistry set on earlier in this season. And it was the type, I can't not want to call it a toy, but it's not a toy, it's like a project or something. Basically what happens is, you know, you mix your own plastics and you make your own little head to shrink. And you know, you could put whatever kind of hair you want on it, paint it whatever you want. It was just a great way, I think, to get kids into creativity and kind of learning how to do things, which I don't really think we have things like that for kids nowadays. And if we do, shoot me out an email at jscott@intv.me and tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think it's out there. Anyway, from the mid-60s, the Witch Doctor Head Shrinkers kit, and the music is super cool in this too. I'm telling you.
In
into the deepest jungles went Pressman toy makers looking for something new. The secret they brought back for you is incredible. The Pressman Witch Doctor Head Shrinkers Kit. Plastic flesh, mixing cauldron, and petrifying potion. Just pour it into the mold, and in minutes you can add monster hair. Paint it with a coloring kit included, or make up your own decorations. In 24 hours, the heads shrink down. Now, shrunken heads for all occasions. Collect them, swap them, give them to your Witch Doctor friends. You can always cook up more with Pressman's Witch Doctor Head Shrinkers Kit.
All right, up next, folks, we got one that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Because, you know, anytime you have talking dolls, I get freaked out every single time. Chatty Cathy, manufactured by Mattel from 1960 to 1964, so that kind of puts this commercial in the early 60s. You know, when I saw this commercial, I kind of thought of the Cricket doll from the 80s and Teddy Ruxpin. My sister Ashley had a Cricket doll, and me and my younger brother Ben absolutely tortured the crap out of this thing. And it was an expensive toy. I think my grandparents bought it for her. So they dropped some bucks on this toy for her. And she went away for a weekend one time, and me and my brother decided to get a flathead screwdriver and pop one of the eyes out. Yeah. And that doll, the Cricket doll, you'd put a cassette in and she'd be like, "Hi, my name's Cricket. I want to freaking kill you." And it wasn't like that. It was like, "I love you. Let's have tea time," or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, this thing responds to a tape. So I get the bright idea to put my Def Leppard Hysteria cassette in there and you know, kind of see what would happen. And she sang along. So my sister, I'm sure, comes back. I don't remember. I remember I got in a whole lot of trouble for this. I was in a lot of trouble. But my sister comes back and discovers that not only the eyes popped out, but suddenly the doll is singing "Pour Some Sugar on Me." And that's awesome. I got in a lot of trouble, but it was totally worth it because I lived through it somehow. I'm telling you, I got in a lot of trouble. So check this out, Chatty Cathy from the early 60s. Yo.
Oh, Chatty Cathy, oh, Mattel's famous talking doll. We pull the rings, and you say 11 different things. Let's play house. Please change my dress. We can change your dresses now, goodness knows. Now you've got a wardrobe full of pretty clothes. For nursery school, you're crisp and cool. For summer, there's a playtime set. In winter, brr, your collar's fur. In a coat as cute as you can get. I love you. You love your mamas, and they love you sleepy time pajamas.
Just pull the ring. You never know what she'll say next.
Tell me a story. The only story now left to tell is that Chatty Cathy's made by Mattel.
You'll find Chatty Cathy and her costume sets wherever toys are sold.
You can tell it's Mattel, it's swell.
Chatty Cathy creeps me out. Okay, so folks, if you've been watching this show over the last, I don't know, few episodes, you might have noticed that I've kind of worked in a new segment to this show, and it's a part of the show where I kind of pay homage to or make some deal about some old pop culture icon like Hamburglar or the Kool-Aid Man. Well, this time around, I'm going to pay homage to a television show, and it was my personal favorite television show as a kid, you know, growing up in the 80s. You can't do that on television. Oh, yeah! Nickelodeon, back in the old school days, yo. This show had a pretty good run, 1979 all the way into 1990, and it was produced, and a lot of people don't know this. And a lot of shows in for Nickelodeon that were done back then